Not looking at the right thing. No.
What are you trying to, what do you want to see?
Just screen. There we are. Okay. I
Oh,
didn't. I
okay.
was okay.
How are you today, Bill?
Fuck, I'm not good. Uh, I keep forgetting all kinds of stuff, like conversations with people I have no memory of whatsoever, over and over. Um,
Do
s-
you think that's like an ADHD thing or?
no, I think it's the ECT thing that's catching up to me. It's horrifying because I was telling Melissa, it's not like there are three things I need to remember about work. One of them has to do with Chris. One of them is about Amanda. And I've got to remember to do, it's, it's not, I have nothing. I don't know what I'm forgetting until someone tells me, we talked yesterday. And I'm like, sorry.
What do you mean by ECT?
Electroconvulsive therapy,
Are you doing that?
shock therapy. No, I did years ago. I did 15 of them and
Oh, did it help at all?
melted
That's
my
so funny.
brain.
That's so hilarious that you just bring that up. I was just talking to somebody about that literally not even 2 seconds ago over text message.
Yeah, stay away from it. I don't know if they do it anymore.
Hmm. Oh, what I'm thinking, yeah, that is different than what they do now, which is TMS. Transmagnetic stimulation or whatever, which they don't shock you. They just do like the little magnets and they boop you in the brain or something like that. It's supposed to help with depression. Can you hear the birds in the background of my thing?
Uh-uh.
Oh, okay. They sound really nice. I was kind of hoping that you could.
I think I have a hawk that may be nesting on the roof above my window, which would
Oh,
be
yeah?
badass cool.
We're a fun bunch today.
Oh, we'll be fine.
I mean, we're live now. We've been live.
We are?
Mm-hmm.
How come I don't have a thing about it?
Did you see the notification that popped up? You had to click got it because you knew you were
Oh, I
live.
did see that. Man, I have a magnificent grasp of the obvious. Dude, I figured out the funniest thing I've ever thought of in my life yesterday. I was laughing so hard. I had tears streaming down my face for 10 minutes. It's the cheerleading thing that I was going to. And told Melissa I would get it figured out.
Yeah.
So here's the idea. Cheerleading is a sport. I looked it up. It's a literal sport. Only you can't like go to a cheerleading bout, you know. They
Yeah.
do have like nationals in Orlando where they go and cheerlead, but for all intents and purposes, cheerleading is a parasite sport that what's the word I'm looking for? Uh
You have to have another thing in order for
they're a
it to work.
squatter sport. Exactly. They need a host, and the host can be basically any spectator sport. They don't have to know the rules. They don't have to know anything about the teams or the strategy or anything. Here's what happens. They have to have a host. So let's say it's a football game. The cheerleaders come for their for their sport. They're squatting on your field, right? Not only are they that, but they make sure that you're going to see them because they literally do their sport between you and the audience that paid to see your sport. They have to literally watch cheerleading before they can see what they came to see. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And it's not like they're standing there politely, thanks for checking us out. No, no. They're flying in the air, flipping, turning,
Hey,
twisting.
look at me, look at me, look at me.
Exactly. Exactly. They don't have to market. They don't have to send out anything. They don't have to sell tickets, concessions, anything. It's all packaged. All they do is show up, camp their asses between you and the people that paid to see you, and do their cheerleading.
That's funny.
I've never seen this is how you know it's not a real sport because there's never been pickup cheerleading on the weekend. You don't like go to the playground and choose teams, right? If you want to cheerlead on the weekend, you got to get your boyfriend to get his buddies on the football team to go somewhere and start a football game so that you can go have your sport. It's crazy.
That's very true.
when I got to the part about, okay, they show up, they're taking over, they don't have to have any of their own equipment, stuff. Oh my God, they literally get between you and the people that paid to see you do your sport. What else can you do that in life in?
That's funny.
Yep, we're gonna let
It's
you
like
do
a real life commercial.
for what?
Cheerleading is essentially just a commercial because you pay to have cable, you pay to have streaming services, you pay to, well, I'm thinking more about like cable. Like you pay to have cable, but there's still commercials. There's still some shit you have to see before you can see the main event.
Yeah, right. Yep. So when when I was in high school, cheerleaders, they were like stuck up and bitchy. And why not? Why not? Because they just take over anything they want. They don't add anything to the sport. No strategy. Doesn't make a team better to have one.
Well, they could potentially distract the other team with their peppiness and their cheerfulness.
They're the freaking lampreys of sports. They attach to the shark.
But there's still a lot of talent there. Don't
Oh,
don't
I'm not saying there's
don't
not.
get us wrong
Not at all.
when
Not
we're
saying
saying
there's not
this.
at all. It's just really interesting the way it all worked out. It's like they invented the sport and went, no, that other shit's too hard. How could we do it for free anywhere we want? Ah, well, how about
And they get to watch the sport for free. They don't have to pay for a ticket or
no, they have their
anything.
backs to it. They don't care.
They get free access to whatever they're cheering for. Or did you go to the open mic last night? Or are you waiting?
I'm waiting for an audience. Plus, I got to figure that one out. It's really funny stuff, but I got to say it right.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah. And you need to like workshop it to people too, to like a bunch of different types of people
Exactly.
to see like who it hits with and who it doesn't. But that's how you workshop stuff is you just go to open mics. We used to have at my open mic that I used to run, we had people that would come in and do comedy and it was really a hit or miss on whether or not they do a good job.
Imagine.
And I would always just really laugh really hard just to help them out, just to make them feel not so awkward because there would be some awkward silences in the room where you could like hear a pin drop when they said something like controversial or something
Mhm.
like that I didn't agree with. I'd just be like, "Oh man," just to fill the silence.
I think the funniest stuff that's sustainable is the break room for keyboard characters. I think that's the funny stuff.
What does that mean?
Like there's a break room in an office and it's for all the keyboard characters where they hang out when they're not being used. So
Oh,
when
like the exclamation point, the at sign, the pound
yep,
sign, the
all
dollar
that
sign.
shit. And so like control X, what's delete, control
Control
alt.
Alt Delete.
Yeah, control alt delete comes in the break room like sweating, clearly shook up. You guys don't know what I see because I do my job. I erase that shit. You don't remember it, but I do. I see all that. Crazy stuff.
I've got us out of some terrible pickles, man. You'd have no idea.
And I love the send all button comes bursting through the break room door. Oh, William just fucked himself, but he doesn't know it yet.
He wasn't quick enough to click undo. He
he,
wasn't quick
he,
enough. I
he
just
doesn't
saw
know
him.
it.
I saw him squirm. Yeah, that would be really good stuff. I think that'd be really good content for a fleshed out bit for sure.
The other is the therapist's office for emojis and the waiting room. You got the peach and the eggplant, and they're not looking at each other at all. It's like the first time that anybody used those in combination. And the eggplant's like, I'm really, and peach is like, don't fucking look at me. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's funny. It makes sense to me. I'm sure other people it makes
Don't
sense to as
even
well.
look at me. But I didn't.
It wasn't my shut up. Just shut up.
The asterisk is the one that has all the good stories. I just go in. He's like the he's like the Navy SEAL, goes in and cleans up shit and gets out.
He's like dressed as Mr. Clean.
Uh, why you have no energy? Why am I talking? Why you have no energy today?
Hello, just emotional dysregulation city over in these parts.
These parts. So Man and I have not talked today. This is the first time we've talked today.
Yeah, I've been working from home, posted up in my house, trying to get work done. Feeling like crap.
You say Minecraft?
No, I said feeling like crap. I wish Minecraft. Maybe
Wish
give me something to do.
wish
A
Minecraft.
hobby.
That's an interesting sentence. Wish Minecraft. Uh, what are you gonna do this weekend? You're going to see Bill Murray.
I have a lot of plans this weekend, and I think that's why I'm in emotional dysregulation spot because I don't normally ever have plans on the weekend. And so I think my body's like, you're doing something. Oh my God, panic, panic, shut down, explode, cry, feel absolutely not in control of anything. So I have to prepare myself to go to a concert tonight to be around a bunch of people, which I love concerts, but like the pre-concert jitters are very real. But once I get in there and like I'm at the show, I'm fine and I calm down because concert is where I feel really calm. But pre-concert, planning for the concert, getting the concert on time, all of that stuff stresses me the fuck out.
Does that always happen?
Yes. That happens with everything though. I just kind of have a smidge of the social anxiety.
Smidge.
Even
Dude,
going to the store is a big event for me. I gotta fucking mentally prepare myself.
um,
Penguin.
I think it was yesterday that I was in your car and you had Del Water Gap on. I like that. I like
Yeah,
that
I've
dude.
seen that Water Gap.
I know you have. I like that
That
dude.
was a very good concert. I really liked it.
Oh, because then Mac Miller played 2009. 2007?
2009, no more.
2009.
Yeah. I cried the first time I heard that song. It's a good one.
Shit, man. I remember when I saw that it was, I don't know, 8 months ago, and I played it 9 times and I sent it to you. And then I went and read about it and I was like, oh god damn, really? Fuck, man.
Have you seen his Tiny Music Desk concert?
I don't think so.
He plays 2009 on there. It's really good. Very good. I have his anniversary vinyl for watching movies with the sound off, and I got it in the mail, and like the original artwork for the picture is it's like a very red, and then he's just like sitting at this table, right? And there's like objects like around him, but it's very like minimalistic. And then I get the vinyl and he's not on the front. And like the chair is still there, everything is still there, but
Oh
he's not
shit.
there. Oh my
Ugh.
God, I bawled. I bawled like a little
Yeah,
baby. I really did. It was so sad.
that's
I
horrible.
was like, oh my gosh, that's just break my heart. Why don't you? But there was really cool special edition, because watching movies with the sound off is this album about birds. So I got a special edition 7 inch, like with a, I think it's a 7 inch. I don't know. The smaller ones. Which ones are those? Is that right? I don't know. But the smaller records that aren't normal, like large record size, like they're smaller ones.
I can
And
eat.
on it, it's got a bunch of birds. And then so then when you put it on the record player and you play it, it looks like the birds are going like this with their beaks.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really, really cool.
I like that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And actually, that song was just, it was a bonus track, but it was just released on streaming like last week.
Really?
Yeah. But I got to hear it first. Boom shakalaka.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, should we get to the question for the
All
day?
right. What's the question?
You have it.
No.
You sent it to me, but I don't remember already.
When going through recovery, what indicators should I use to determine whether I'm healthy enough to return to the workplace? Well, I've done that. I
No,
have
that's on you. That's a you question.
I have experience doing that. I needed to produce something. I didn't need to make money, but I needed to produce something positive in the world. And so that what that looked like for me was I had to get a job after 10 years of not having a job. And I remember once I got a job offer and took it, it's at a snack bar for minimum wage, which was like $8.50 an hour, which blew my mind because last time I knew minimum wage, it was like a nickel in the Ford administration. And so before I started though, I was talking to my case manager and we were walking to Eden Park and I said, do you think I can do this? Do you think I can work, be on time and show up and do it? And she stopped. And so I stopped and I'm like, why are we stopping? And she said, I have the same diagnosis you do. And I was like, oh, that's pretty badass. I didn't know that. And so I was like, okay, cool, thank you, for sharing that. And it was nice the way she said it. It wasn't like, don't be a baby. It wasn't like you shit for brains, you're selling yourself short, you should be a case manager. Um, it was, hey, look, everybody has shit they got to deal with. So yeah, do I think you can do it? Sure. Um, and then I could. And and then I came here. And I don't like this anymore. I used to like it a lot, but there's too much. I think I told you this the other day. This is not the space I used to live in. The space I used to live in didn't hurt. You know what I mean? Um, so uh was I ready to work? Yeah. Was I ready to work 40 hours? Yeah, in a month. Not in a week by any stretch. So I had to figure out how much work I could literally do. And I got lucky in that I went through what's called a supported employment program through the state of Ohio, meaning they're looking for people who are trying to return to work and may have issues with it. So they're very, understanding and shit like that, which was great. Um, so could I do the work physically? Sure. It was just a matter of spending 8 or 9 months making sure that I could be, uh, what's that? Accountable and consistent and crap like that. None of which I am now, interestingly enough, 7 years later. Um, so that was really easy for me because it was like Candyland.
Yeah.
I mean, I was set up, I had everything possible that set me up to succeed. And succeed looked like show up on time and do what you're supposed to do. That's it. Um, so that was nice. And then I actually got kicked out of that program, which is
Why
why
they
I'm here. They were like, you got to go.
because they were like, you finished
Hmm.
all the tasks on your journey. Now it's time to fly, little birdie.
Yep.
Well, I think
So
that's a good resource is the supported employment.
it was perfect for me, man. It was really nice. Um, and it didn't matter what I did. The other thing that helped me was a little bit of humility. This is the most humbling position I've ever had. And I wasn't a bad guy before. I was a nice guy, but now I'm a kind person. And there's a difference to me in being kind and being nice. Um, so having leeway in work that I was doing for lots of conversation and lots of downtime with other people to engage with helped me. Because what I didn't foresee and what became a big issue, and you suffered through some of this, was the social part of me going back to work. in being a part of a workplace. And I didn't read that room very well a lot of times. And in fact, I still think of things now that I did 6 years ago and go, oh my God, I'm surprised they didn't kill me and bury me in like an
Yeah, I
iceberg.
think that, I mean, it just brings so much perspective to me to like hear your journey kind of like in full of like where you were at in terms of like work wise and when you did show up. Because like when I had got to our organization, I had not, I really didn't have any idea of any of that. So I came in just thinking that like you were my boss and we had to like, you were the person that I had to like run through with everything and that like you had been there. Like I thought that you had been there for a while. I didn't realize that you got there very shortly before I did.
I got there like 6 hours before you and needed a playmate.
Yeah, and like I didn't realize that because I came to work, like I came to, well, I was a bit of a workaholic too, and that was kind of my issue as well. Is like when I got there, I was ready to just change the world, and I was like, I wanted to be everybody's superhero, and I was a bit of a workaholic after that, because I used work to run away from all of my problems.
Yep.
So yeah, I think that, looking back, it makes sense how everything happened contextually. Like you were new, I was new. This was my first full-time job. Like, really? I had done like, you know, serving and hosting and, you know, kitchen work and all that stuff previously, but this was like my first big girl job. So, I mean, it makes sense while everything happened the way that it did, and no,
I thought you were gonna make that painful, which you have every right to do, but you didn't really tell anything. It was hard for you because I was way oversharing my personal stuff. I hadn't had friends that I talked to, for years that I had met after getting sick or whatever. Um, so and I'm a pretty gregarious person, and you're easy to talk to. And so I mean, it was a mess for a while.
yeah, I think too, like a lot of that at the time just felt so normal to me because of the way that my upbringing was. Like, it didn't feel any different from all the other adults in my life who, speak
Which
to
is,
me like that and overshare. And
mhm.
we just naturally fell into that dynamic. And I think that it worked for us at the time because it was what we were always used to.
Yeah.
But I was like 23, 24 years old, um, just fresh into the workforce. I didn't know what was appropriate. I had no clue. I expected, like, in that time, I expected the adults in the room to show me and let me know. And I didn't
Yeah.
realize, girl, you're also an adult in the room. At that time, I didn't feel like that. I didn't realize that I was.
I get,
I still struggle with it. I still struggle with being the adult voice in the room and knowing appropriate boundaries and understanding the level of share versus overshare and the level that people can kind of like take from me. It's still something I really, really struggle with. It's really hard for me. But looking back and you sharing where you were at the time and that you were like brand new to the workforce, kind of just like I was. It was kind of like my first full time, both of us. And well, not, it wasn't your first, but it was your first in a long time.
yeah, I mean,
We
yeah,
were just learning how to do it,
we were.
really. And we're just trying to learn what makes us feel comfortable, what makes us feel uncomfortable, just navigating everything. Um,
Well, I am really proud of our relationship, and you know that. It's
yeah,
very, very important to me. So inappropriateness wasn't like anything, where I was mistreating you.
no.
I was sharing things I shouldn't have been sharing. But I learned from that, and I learned a couple of things. One was to give you space when you need it, and to keep things in the office that are appropriate for the office. Um, and
Yeah, we were a little bit of each other's relationship therapists there for a minute.
yeah, and I do that now, and I do it well. I mean, tell me if I don't, but I think that
Oh yeah, I think that, as like after, the time in which you had stepped away for a little bit and then came back ready to work. I think that there was a lot of things that I learned in those in that time. And I think that honestly, us having really like they were very difficult conversations for me to be like, hey, look, like I appreciate the fact that we have a good working relationship and that like I feel like we're friends and we're buddies and we're pals. But you really were kind of one of the first people in my life to make me realize that, hey, it's okay for you to stick up for yourself and to say how you're feeling and to set boundaries. And we had that type of dynamic where, you know, I could just shoot the shit with you and I could like be an asshole to you and you would just kind of like take it because that's kind of like the way that I am sometimes, where I'm just like, Bill, chill the fuck out.
That's much easier for me than this kind of no.
Yeah, and that's the way that I handle situations a lot of the times is I'm kind of a dick about things
Yeah.
in the moment because that's just like my protection mechanism. It's really hard for me to be like, "Hey, this thing bothers me." Instead, I'm like, "The fuck are you thinking, dude? Like, come on now.
And
Come on."
I appreciate that a ton because it cuts down on 90% of the time that most people spend on, I need to tell you about this. It bothers me in this way.
Yeah,
You
and I think
know?
that well, it was good because you kind of like opened up the floor for me to be able to bring that authenticity to our dynamic and really be honest about the way that I'm feeling about things,
Mhm.
which I'm not really able to do a lot um in the job that we're in. It's difficult for me to do with people I don't necessarily have that working relationship with. And I think too, like it helps that you're a guy. I think that I do a lot better with men than I do with women, truthfully. It's a lot easier for me to be myself and to stand up for myself around men, which is so interesting. Not really in context of my past, but probably to the listeners it might be a bit interesting. Um, but yeah, it's just like I'm just really like appreciative of the trials that we faced next to each other and the fact that we were able to kind of understand and learn the way that we are as people and, you know, have that kind of sounding board for one another, I think is really cool. Because I
Yeah.
know if anything goes down at work now, and I didn't always have this confidence, but now I know like if anything happens and it goes down, I'm gonna, you know, bitch to you about it and you're gonna help me with it.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Part of me being able to do that too are things. One, I'm fucking fiercely protective of you. I mean, don't fucking mess with you know with you. Um, and two, the older I get, more less adjectives, nouns and verbs, short as possible, right to the point. And you're like that, and that makes communication so much easier.
And I think maybe that's why I have such a wall up with more feminine like type personalities. I don't want to say females because it's not always females,
I get that.
but it's more like when there's too much emotion tied to something, I kind of like shut down. But when it can be like very to the point and cut and dry and very blunt, that's when I feel like I do my best. Um, so I think that's, you know, that's kind of like the dynamic that we've curated, which is really, really, it works really well for me personally. So I appreciate
I
it.
like it too, and works well for me. And we just have, most of the time we've just got magic, and that's just badass. And you couldn't have predicted that, but we got it, and that's really cool. And I would like to, create more content, and things like doing the conference in the summer and stuff. Um,
I
but
think too, it's because we're both like developmentally stuck at like 23, so it just works out.
that's true too. Yeah. I got to run something past you.
Are we doing this live on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I was trying to explain it. I gotta we have a new semester, a new term starting Monday.
Yep.
For I don't know, 3 years, my friend Jeannie has been facilitating a grief group right
Yep.
across the hall, 15 feet from my door. And that's all I know about it. But
You got
it's on
this.
Thursdays at 10:30 in the morning. And I gotta go. starting Thursday, and I'm terrified. I'm scared to death.
What are you afraid of?
I tell people all the time, I tell people outside this building, there is no back cave entrance here. Everybody comes in the same door and goes out the same door. We are all the same. And I have been involved for 6 years in very large degree personally, and exposed things about myself where, I needed to. Um, but for me, Amanda, this is either I believe it or I don't. Either I believe it or I don't. And if I believe it, I got to be there. And I'm going to be there. And I can't imagine saying a word,
That's okay.
but I gotta, I gotta be, you know, I gotta buy into it all the way.
There's also one on Wednesdays, and that's hybrid. So if you don't want to get there physically, you can also get there virtually if that feels more comfortable for you. Whatever.
Um,
But it's
so
just getting through that door, like you said, like you tell people all the time. You get in the door, we'll take care of you. You just step in the room and you take a seat and you allow the facilitators to really take care of you. And that's the place for it. I mean, it's a grief support group. Everybody's going to be dealing with the same shit, different toilet. And it's going to be hard and it's going to be rough, but feeling it is important and allowing yourself to move through it is important.
I can't live with it. I,
Yeah.
I gotta do something.
It's hard. It's really, really rough to go through. It's not fun.
You know, um, and this is horrible, but when I think about, I'm talking about my friend Ashley, our friend Ashley, and having to say, my friend Ashley passed away. You could have put in any other name in that sentence, any other name, but not that one. It never occurred to me. We used to laugh about her having an entire lifetime after I'm dead because I'm 15, 16 years older. I just never. um. So that's what I gotta
Grief
do.
isn't something that you get rid of, it's something that you just learn to grow around. Unfortunately.
It's a hard one.
Yeah. And I like to be candid and transparent here and real and vulnerable and raw because this is what we do here. Uh, I don't. I really don't deal with it. My mind's just still, I mean, I've dealt with death probably every single year since I've been 7 years old, and it just doesn't sink into me. Like it doesn't like as a concept, it doesn't make sense to me that I'm never going to see this person ever again. And this person's never going to be a part of my life again. It just doesn't compute, doesn't check out. And then one day out of nowhere it just hits me. And I realize it's the single most painful thing in the whole fucking world.
Yeah, for me, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's a hard thing to understand.
And I know that I won't always, be all emotional about it. And that kind of makes me sad in a way. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, and this is a friend. This is a friend of mine. I can't imagine anything closer. I can't, I don't know. Uh, I don't do well um with things that don't have answers.
Yeah.
Just don't. No matter what, all the money in the world, anything, you're just not going to have an answer. And like I told you, I think you know, when I started getting well enough to be, social again, um, I met her and we started hanging out and she worked with us for a good while. And so she had everything, all the information, everything about me. She had the work and the personal, all of it. She was my bridge, you know. Um, I just I feel like I just crumbled, you know. Um, I feel like I lost a lot of understanding about who I am, and I lost a lot of memories because I didn't have to worry too much because we talked all the time. And if I needed to know something, she was telling me, you know? Mm.
All I can really say is it fucking sucks. And it sucks that it just sucks that it's something that we have to do. It sucks that grief is something that is unfortunately a part of our lives.
How did you say it?
Grief is just love persevering.
All right, that's enough of that.
Are you sure? We can continue if you
You know,
want. I want to give you your emotional space to express yourself.
I don't even know how long ago that was. Well, I do. It was the Valentine's Day. That's been almost 6 weeks. It's been 6 weeks. And it's worse now than it was.
Someone here that's waiting on an access bus, so there's one out front sitting there waiting on somebody. And there's an access bus out front.
You got that shoe, bro. You got to get out of here. Okay. All right, Billy. Um, uh, uh, uh,
I wish I had some magical words to say to make it all better. I really do. I wish there was a magic potion that we could drink to bring her back.
um, here's one thing that is really hard. I know, I know she was here. I know she was here for maybe 10 days, 12 days. And she's not. I don't think I don't think he come back. I don't know where you go or how long it takes to get there, but you know what I mean? And I trying really hard for that not to be the case, but it is. And I knew it, and I know that's hard. Oh. And it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter.
Matters to you.
I have bitched so much about the beta project, humans. I mean, we talked about this, how a memory can fucking wreck you so that you can't work physically.
Yep.
But it's going to wear out. It is, because that's how we do it. It just
Mm-hmm.
takes time and some other stuff, but it's gonna. And that doesn't seem fair to me. It just doesn't at all.
It's not.
I don't see the reason for it. I don't know how that makes us better. Um, I don't. Ah. I remember when you were telling me a few weeks ago about, the fact that you've lost people every year. I went, and you said, and already this year, and I went, who is that? Oh my God. as you've heard before, dum 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 dum.
It's all just a process. But I think getting into that grief support group, walking across that hallway, sitting down in a chair, it's the first start. It really is. Just a place where you can share in the emotional state of grief with other people who get it and who have been through it, and maybe you'll learn some tips and tricks on how to cope with it, because I still don't fucking know, to be honest with you.
Maybe all I know is that, and it's anecdotal for me because I've never sat in there, is that it means a whole lot to a lot of people.
So much that we have two
Yeah,
groups now.
yeah, yeah. And then I am scared of being completely honest.
It's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, but like I said, either I believe it or I don't, and I do. Yeah.
Thank
What
you
am
for
I going to
your
do this weekend?
Thank you for your vulnerability, Bill.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
What are you gonna do this weekend?
I do not know. Not know. There's basketball. That's nice.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice outside. I like that.
Very. Did you see the Reds won?
Yeah. Man, yesterday was opening day, and so I went home and I turned it on, and it was like the fourth inning. It was 7-0, and I watched for maybe 20 seconds, and I went, "Oh fuck, man! I forgot how goddamn boring baseball is." No shit.
Oh.
Oh, that was fun. That what? We got to do it 161 more times. Okay, have fun with that one.
It's fun when you're there and you can get the vibes of the atmosphere and all the energy and stuff, but when you're just watching it, there's much
I agree. I agree. And I looked at tickets today. I got a friend who has a birthday in September, and I was looking at tickets. So it's fun time.
nice. Have you ever gone to a music festival, Bill?
Like Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't think so.
The Lollapalooza Festival in Chicago is this summer.
You
Well, in
had
August,
you
technically.
had some fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
You know what I want to do for real is bourbon and what is it? The Louisville one. It's bourbon and something.
The
Bourbon and
Gazebo Fest? There's a festival in well it's like a music event in Louisville called the Gazebo Fest. And that's got like
oh,
Jack Harlow and a bunch of other hip hop artists.
I think that's actually the weekend before.
Oh, okay.
Like Killers headline one day last year, Bruno
Oh,
Mars
cool.
headline one day last year.
That
Um,
sounds sick.
yeah, I gotta see Killers. That's
I like the smaller music
in my life.
festivals, like, because when I used to go to Warped Tour, that was perfect. It was
Yeah,
perfect for me because there wasn't super many like super famous people there. So like when you went and saw the band that you wanted to see, there wasn't a lot of people in the crowd. You go to
right.
Lollapalooza and you want to see somebody, like you have to literally get there when it opens, or you're not going to see anybody. Like you're not
What?
going to even be able to see. Billie Eilish performed last year, and it was so packed I couldn't even see, like I couldn't even get a spot to see the stage. I had to literally go home and watch it on Hulu Live. Um to even be able
Really?
to have the experience while still being in the city.
Holy
Yeah, because it was
crap,
that
man.
bad.
All right, here you go. Check it out. Here's the lineup for this year.
Cool.
It's September 19th to 22nd. Thursday, Neil Young, Beck, Matchbox 20, Wallflowers, Lyle Lovett, Maren Morris, blah, 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 blah. Who else do I see? Patty Smythe, Suzanne Vega, remember her?
Mhm.
Uh, Katie Tunstall. Oh my God, remember her? Black Horse and the Cherry Tree.
Big
Isn't that
black
Katie
holes
Tunstall?
and a
I
cherry
think so.
tree. I'm
Uh,
looking. Oh, Dave Matthews Band.
Friday, Dave Matthews, Tedeschi Trucks, Black Pumas,
Tyler Childers.
Melissa
Zach
Etheridge, Chris
Bryan.
Isaac. I saw
Matchbox 20.
Melissa. Yeah, they're Thursday. Etheridge is the only concert. Oh shit, man!
Milky Chance. I love Milky Chance. This is actually a really good lineup. What the hell?
Friday's fucking badass,
Paleo.
man. Melissa Etheridge, uh, Bruce Hornsby, and the Noisemakers. Me and Jeannie went and saw
Is
them.
this in Louisville? For real?
Yeah,
Oh
JJ Gray.
shit.
I love JJ Gray. He played here Tuesday. Um,
Beck is gonna be there.
on Thursday.
Arlo Parks.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
So then Saturday. Josh fucking Ritter. He's the guy I saw at
I might need to go to this, to be honest.
2 weeks
I
ago.
might need to go to the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Josh Ritter's bad freaking ass. Zach Bryan, Whiskey Myers, Cody Jinks. No, no. Sunday, My Morning Jacket, Tyler Childers. I don't know Tyler Childers. Beach Boys.
He's really good. He's a really good country artist. I don't like country, but I like him.
Fucking Beach Boys. That's badass. Dinosaur Jr.
Young the Giant.
Mm, Bacon Brothers. I've seen them. I saw them at Bogarts. That's Kevin Bacon, the actor, and his brother Michael.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. This is much better than last year, except they don't have killers. That's freaking crazy,
They
man.
got some pretty good names in here.
I can't believe they got Josh Ritter and JJ Gray.
They got the Dave Matthews
Sunbolt.
Band.
Remember Sunbolt?
No. Am I supposed to remember Sunbolt?
They had one song was You're a God and how they go.
How much are passes? I'm curious.
Uh,
Ooh. Are they expensive? Join waitlist. Oh, that's for VIP. I'm gonna see how much 4-day Gen Ad is. Oh, $329 with a $61 fee. Shoo, that's expensive. That's Lollapalooza prices right there.
What the what? I'm thinking of the wrong.
You okay over there?
No, yeah, I'm trying to. I hate Apple Music now. They changed their.
I don't like music streaming services in general. They need to pay people more.
I don't blame you. I hate
It's
it.
a beautiful day outside. I need food. Ooh, I'm gonna get Skyline today, I think. That sounds really
That
good.
sounds good, actually.
Gonna get some Skyline.
Pretty good
It's gonna
lineup.
be real good. Do you have any other tips of getting reintegrated into the workforce?
Yeah, less is more.
I would also say, like, not that I really know for real. Not that I really have any personal experience. But just be mindful of your triggers, I think, is a big one. And knowing that you know how to manage your triggers, I think is a huge one. Because that's
Fair.
just gonna happen no matter where you work, no matter what you do, you're gonna be triggered. And just ensuring that you have the right tools in place for yourself.
I'm not sure trigger is the word I'd use, but yeah, I had to have self-care. Because I may not have been being triggered, but I was being worn out, and
Yeah.
and I and I did have things that like everybody does that upset me or whatever.
Yeah.
And I had to make sure that I was doing what I needed to when I wasn't at work.
Yeah.
So
There's going to be situations in which you are dysregulated or where your recovery process is challenged. So make sure you have all the tools in place to properly take care of yourself.
Yeah, that's one.
Does that sound better?
It's good. And being
Okay, great.
assertive and
Yes.
is very important. Hi, Daisy.
My cat.
Oh my God, she ate you.
did.
You disappeared.
Oh no, I'm not anymore.
Uh,
What am I gonna do?
It was really important for me to keep people in the loop on exactly what was going on. with me.
Communication.
Yep. Yep.
Communication.
Especially when I wasn't feeling or I wasn't going to make it, or, you know, I had to make sure that I was responsible about that and not stress about it. I think people, I know people here sometimes um, freak out about, you know, having to call off or whatever. So I read an email I sent, well, a few weeks ago about how I explained why I wasn't going to be here one day. And then I followed it up with an email like 4 hours later that said, hey, by the way, that was a horrible example of how to call off work. I wanted you guys to know where I was. If I didn't, I would have said, not going to be there. Have a good day.
Bye.
Yeah, that's all I need. And I think a lot of people overthink it because they're like, you know, I hope, I
Yeah.
hope that's not happening as
I
much.
mean, it took me a while to not like over explain myself
Yeah,
and be like, hey, I'm not gonna be in today because of this. And now I'm just like, hey, I'm working from home today. See you later. When I
exactly.
just like when I don't have the like today, I did not have the capacity to do it. I could not get myself there.
And
I
it's
got ready. I got dressed. I could not get myself to leave the house. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna meet myself where I'm at. I'm just gonna work from home because I can be very productive at home actually. So let's just do what I need to do and tell everybody I'm gonna be working from home. And if they need me, they can call me, and that is what it is.
it's much better that way.
Where not everybody has that accessibility, unfortunately.
Oh no, we're really lucky.
Yeah, we are really
Very,
lucky.
very lucky. I mean, it's not just lucky. I mean, we have a really good ED that makes sure that, you know, we're okay. Um,
Exactly.
let me tell you something. Oh, hey, I got cats.
Bracelet.
Yeah.
I'm
Some
wearing
of
mine right now. It's
uh
beautiful and I love it.
looks really cool in it.
Yeah, it has my birthstone in it too.
I know. I told her that.
It's
So
really awesome. It was really sweet. Tell her I said thank you very much. It was very, very sweet and thoughtful
I
gift.
I did, and you were really nice about it, and that made her feel good.
Yay, good.
So
Because nobody ever really has made me anything like this before. And it was very nice.
it was really kind.
Yeah.
It was very kind of her to do that for the
And
three
it's
of us.
very pretty. Like she should sell these on Etsy or some shit.
I know, right?
Like
And
these are good.
she makes them at work for people all the time.
Like I would probably buy this for like my friends and family for like holidays. My cat is not wanting to be on my lap anymore, I guess.
Um, I think I did a pretty good job answering that question.
I think so. I mean, I would love to chime in, but I don't really have very much experience in that lane, so I don't have a lot to contribute. As much as I love talking and giving advice and never shutting up. I know my place and this is not one of them.
I needed to make the obligatory, well, woman should know her place comment, but
And I'm in the kitchen, so
oh
a
my
win is a
God,
win is a
even
win.
better, right to tell.
Oh, you gotta steer into the skid. That's what I always say.
I love that. Yeah, remember us having that conversation. I blew my mind when I thought about that. Hey, you know what? Why don't you apply that to everything you're fucking up in your personal life, Billiam? Steer into the skid.
Just steer into the skid, it'll work itself out. I have learned in my short life thus far that the thing that I am the most irritated about doing, which was most recently taking my taxes to my CPA. I was just dreading it. I couldn't do it. I was just procrastinating it like crazy. I just didn't want to do it. Most of the time, if you just push past all of the uncomfortability of something and just like do it, it's not anymore this like lingering thing over your shoulder. It's
I
just
have
so hard for me.
I have carried things around every day for years, waking up thinking of them first thing. Always, always, always on my mind in the background, terrifying me. And then when I take care of it, I'm like, well, that was not nearly as bad as I thought. It hasn't helped me to be more productive or proactive, but there's something I was going to say about all that. What were we talking about? You were talking about if you do it better.
Yeah, it like hangs over my head, and once I do it, I feel better about it. It's the anticipatory anxiety of it all.
Yeah.
It makes it worse.
Yeah. I mean, Ashley used to just come in here and sit down and play on her phone so I can make a phone call. What do you call it? Body doubling or
Yeah, body doubling.
yeah.
It's really helpful for people with ADHD or really I think anybody who thrives off of socialization and having people around, if you have to clean your house or if you have to study for a test or if you have to make a phone call, schedule an appointment, do the hard thing, even just having somebody in the room is really helpful. I used to, before it broke, had a mirror in my office for when I would have to make phone calls to people. So it would be like body doubling, but it was just me supporting myself.
Yeah.
I'd like look at myself in the mirror and amp myself up to make these phone calls. And as I was on the phone, I would look at myself in the mirror and somehow it helped me. It just
Badass.
really helped me make phone calls.
I like that. Um, yeah. Yeah, Ashley used to do that all the time for me. Which is cool.
She still does. She's still sitting there in that chair, hanging out, I believe, in my
uh,
heart of hearts.
I gotta do something outside this weekend.
Go play pickleball.
I did that this morning.
Heck yeah. Go play some tennis.
Yeah,
Is Ernest still in town? Hit him up.
yeah.
You guys should go play tennis.
I thought, yeah, I texted him last night. He texted me back at 6 this morning. Um, uh, yeah.
Now I have Tom's Diner stuck in my head. I am sitting in the diner.
I want to go back to Arcade Legacy, and I thought you were going to do that. But
Let's do it. I want to play pinball again so bad. I've been trying to get back there literally every weekend since I was there the last time, and it just like has not worked out in my favor. But
who's going to Bogarts tonight?
Bill Murray.
No, I know who's going with you.
Oh, my friend Michaela.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I got fee-free tickets on Valentine's Day for sharing the story of how all my exes broke up with me, or how I broke up with all my exes.
You
all
told me
that.
that story. How did you get them?
So on Valentine's Day, they were doing a promotion where if you come to the box office and you tell them,
Oh, and you told them all. That's
if you
right.
tell them all the terrible breakup stories that you've had, you get free tickets. And I was like, which one do you want to hear? Do you want to hear all of them, or do you want to hear the super hot and juicy ones?
You told them
And
all.
they're like, sure, spill all the tea. And I was like,
Mhm.
perfect. I love talking about this. So I just
Mhm.
like ran through. I was like, this one did this, this, this. This one did this. Now I'm trying to decenter men from my life.
That's
And they're
fun.
like, oh my gosh, girl, are you just literally like a rehabilitation center for men? And I'm like, yeah, basically I am.
That's funny. Well, then enjoy the show. That's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm excited. I just have to rally. My energy level's really low. I'm hoping if I eat stuff my face with some Skyline and watch a good podcast or something, I'll be able to chipper up.
Yeah, dude, you gotta do something.
Yeah.
How long have we been going?
I think it's almost an hour now. 57 minutes. We've been live. Isn't that crazy? I think this is where we bid the audience farewell.
Bye.
It's a great show. Thanks for coming. See you next Friday.
Hey, yeah. See you guys next Friday. I like it. Let's do it together maybe next Friday because I like it
Yeah,
better.
I'll be in the building next Friday, so
Or we
I'll
can
be
get
there.
do it somewhere else, but do it together.
Oh, that'd be cool if we could go to like Highlands coffee shop. That'd
Oh,
be sick. But I don't think they're open until 5, unfortunately. So
which one's that? Where is that?
right down the street.
Oh, I
Like,
could do that.
yeah, it's literally on